Hello, this clip of our Justia webinar dedicated to the fundamentals on citation and link building for SEO will guide you through the basics of the link, its attributes, and how Google gives value to the links based on those attributes. If you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
We'll spend a little bit of time of looking at the link, and then we're going to go into the link value itself, how Google sort of determines which links are more valuable than others. Okay, first here's a link, right? Some text, link text, URL. Could be, learn about how our Atlanta car accident lawyers can help you today, right? The word car accident here is linked. Again, it's the same thing as we just saw here. This would be a link here would be car accident, would be linking over to the page. So let's start looking at the different attributes of a link itself. First, the link text. Easily the most valuable text there is the link text. So if you're looking at your site, especially that's something you control, or your blog, and you're cross-linking over, you should really look at the words that you're linking from over to other pages of your site. If other people link to you, ideally they would use words that matched up with the landing page of your site. Gotta be careful, you don't want to spam it. I'll walk to cover that in just a second. But this is extremely valuable text in terms of what's there. Now, a couple things to note about this, and this is especially true on your website and your blog that you have for yourself. Do not use the same link text for different pages. All right, so here, let's say I have the word car accident lawyer, and I'm linking to my homepage with those words. Or I take the words somewhere else, I link it to my attorney profile. And I do it again, I link it to my car accident page, all right? So I took the word car accident lawyer, I linked it to 3 different pages. That confuses the hell out of Google. Don't do that. Do not take the same text and link it to different pages. This is something, especially on your own site. Now, someone else might do it on, a separate third-party site. That might not be something you can control. But you definitely control your own website and you control your own blogs. So go through, look at the backlinks that you have to yourself, and make sure that you're not using the same words to link to different pages. That's up to you to do. And you've got to get that cleaned up. Even on your own site, links are worth quite a bit. And you are telling Google what pages are related to what terms when you link to them. And if you can't do that consistently, Google's going to have a rough time figuring out what page is important for you on your website for any particular term. So you need to go through there and do that. But do not do this, all right? Instead, have different terms, right? Maybe personal injury lawyer goes to your homepage. Okay, that's good. It's basic term. Homepage tends to be one of the stronger pages. Take accident attorney, take that to your profile. Take car accident lawyer, right? Take that over to your car accident page. But the keywords should match up with the page that it's going towards, and you should not use the same words to different pages. And that happens all the time. And you can bring it up with folks, they still do it. So especially when they go into their homepage and a practice area page or attorney profile, like I'm showing here, really got to watch that. Okay, so that's one thing to note about the text within keywords. Extremely valuable, but don't use it for different pages, especially the ones you control. Link it to one page. Here's the other one. This is more for external links that are coming into your site. And that is to have spammy link text. So here's an example. I've hidden the name of the person doing this, but that's okay. But these folks have taken the word Knoxville personal injury lawyer, and they put it on a ton of sites. I mean, they just put it, this is on right now 130 sites, 120 of them are follow links. And that's just the number of individual sites. There's many more links than 120. And they took that word Knoxville personal injury lawyer and they put it on all these different sites, mainly through, in this particular case, article spam, when they're doing article spam on different sites. So I'm not going to talk a little bit about the link building stuff and using tools like SEMrush, which I'm using here to show this example. But do not do this. First you should be doing article spam in general when you're doing things, but do not load it up with keywords like this on external sites. This will turn out very, very bad, or even on your own site. Don't load it up. What will happen is you might rank for different things, but you won't rank for this particular term. And we've seen this happen a lot with folks where people just, hey, I'm doing link building. I've, setting up stuff on I set up some pretend WordPress.com blogs and some Blogspot blogs. I'm adding these articles. I'm linking back to myself. I submitted this article to all these different folks, so they link back to me. And all of a sudden they go up a bit, and then all of a sudden they fall and they disappear, especially for the particular term that they did the spamming on. So again, it can work for a bit, but then it doesn't work. So we'll cover a lot more of these things when we start looking at tools like SEMrush and Ahrefs and a couple others in the next or second half of this webinar. It'll be, not today, but coming up. But this is something you really need to be careful of, is this, when you're doing link building, doing this overly spammy stuff. If you do want to do link building, just have a link to your website name. I mean, get a link to your firm name, right? Jones and Smith. Don't get involved with this. This is so easy to track, so easy to get you in trouble. Someone could easily report this. It's obvious that this is a link building effort. This wasn't done by a third party. I mean, you can walk through all these different things when you go through it. This could be a problem for folks, and it could be a problem for you if you do it. So I'd be very careful on this part. Don't do this. No spammy link text, all right? All right, let's go to the next part of the link. The link URL, right here up here in the address bar, right? Justia.com/spam family here. All right, here it is, the URL. So the URL does have some value in terms of SEO, because the words in the URL, Google will look at as a hint as to what the page is linking to is about. So you should ideally try to get a couple words into your URL. Now, if you put 10 words in, it gets a little bit spammy, probably not that great. But car accidents, that's a decent thing to do if you're linking to a car accident page. So there is value there. Is it as valuable as the link text? No. But it's not something that's ignored by Google. So adding a word or two or three, that's fine. I would not add, 8 words or something like that, but a couple words is good. The one other thing I want to bring up is that sometimes the URL is used as the link text. And the reason I bring this up is so, obviously, if it's an internal page, you might have some additional words there, but sometimes it's just the domain. So there are a lot of directories that'll grab the domain of the law firm, and they'll actually put it in as link text. So here, you'll see something like this: website injury-lawyers.com. And if you looked at the underlying code, you would see that both the URL and the link text include the word injury lawyers. So the reason I bring this up is because Google has said, the domain really doesn't matter for SEO. And, technically, I think it matters a little bit, even just having it, because it's an indicator of what the site's about. But link text matters. And a lot of the time, the domain is taken and put into link text, especially on directories. So it's something to think about. Now, do you have to have keywords in your domain? No, you don't. Is it as important as the content that you actually write? No. Is there a correlation between people that write spammy content and use lots of keywords in their domain? Yeah, right. Scannin.com is not writing any sort of spammy content, right? So, Wilson Sonsini, they don't need to have keywords in their domain, right? They're going to write really good stuff. Sometimes people with, Miami-personal-injury-lawyers-accident-attorney, something like that. Okay, they're probably going to have a little bit of spam on their site as well. So there's a little bit of that correlation. But as far as reality goes, in terms of what Google's going to value, they will look at the link text, they will look at the URL, and there is some value there. So don't think you can do that and not write good content, but there is some value in having keywords in your domain. There is some value in having keywords in your URL, right? So the domain itself often, again, shows up as link text. So that's the little sort of hidden thing to note about domains, which I don't think people, when they focus just on the URL on the page, don't really quite think about. Okay, link text, URL. Those are two key ones. The next one is the surrounding text. And this is the text around the link text. Google looks at this as well. So Google will look at the link text, where the link's going, and they'll start looking at the text that surrounds it. And the closer the text that surrounds it, the more valuable it is. So here we got, learn about how our Atlanta car accident lawyers can help you today. The word Atlanta and the word lawyers will be attached to the word car accident when Google's sort of ranking that link, because it's the surrounding text. It's the text within the contents of the link. So that stuff will get pulled in. There is an exception where that stuff might, not get pulled in, right? Sorry, I should have made that red so you can easily see the surrounding text. So the exception is when it goes link. So if you have the link if I'm coming through Atlanta car accident lawyers, and I have car accident as one link, and I have the word lawyers as a different link, that word lawyers is not likely to get picked up with car accident, because Google now sees that as a word that really goes to a separate location, not something to be attached to the previous link location. So what you'd like to do, ideally, is have text around your links, where if you want additional keywords, and allows you to put a link in and not overly spam it up. I don't have to use Atlanta car accident lawyers, which starts looking pretty spammy pretty quickly over and over again. But car accident, that's only 2 words. That's never really going to be seen as spammy. Linking 1 or 2 words, never really an issue. So putting link text around it, extremely helpful. I'm putting surrounding text with keywords around link text, extremely helpful to your ability to indicate to Google what that link's going to be about. So it's something to think about. Sometimes if you have a long string, maybe remove a couple of those words, put them outside the link text, but keep them surrounding links text. That actually works out really, really well. All right, one other item that I'll bring up, which is the title attribute. So here's the link. We could add in this title attribute, which basically, if you mouse over the URL, you get like a little pop-up that'll indicate what it's about. So if I had something like this, about how our car accident lawyers can help you today, if I moused over car accident, I get this little pop-up that would show up. In general, I would not use the title attribute. We use it like when we want to give people instructions how to use something, or to really indicate more information about the link that cannot be covered by the text, or the link text, or the link text with the surrounding text. So unless there's really a reason to use the title attribute, I wouldn't use it, because you'll end up overly spamming it, and you won't be able to control yourself, and because you can't really tell me keywords you're putting in there, and all of a sudden you've junked up your whole page, you've junked up your links and everything else. So I would stay away from it. But because there is some value in it, I'm bringing it up. So I bring it up. I would, again, be really hesitant to use it, maybe for help screens, maybe for add things where you really need to explain something. I could see some uses for it, but for the most part, I would not use it. But there is some value there. Okay, that's the link part. We'll come back to that one more time at the end of this little section here. But let me cover just a couple other things within the link. So we have the rel nofollow, which, if you guys are into SEO, you have an idea what this is about. So nofollow, basically from Google's standpoint, is an indicator that they shouldn't that link should not pass any page rank onto the page it's linking to. So if you have a URL and you put rel nofollow, the word car accident shouldn't actually add any SEO value or page rank value to the link that's going to domain.com/car accidents. And that was true for a long period of time. Now nofollows are seen as hints to Google. Strong hints, but hints. They might give you value for nofollow links. So just because that's a nofollow doesn't mean there's no value in it. On the other hand, the webmaster the website has at least indicated that they don't think there should be value. So that's something to note. Like Wikipedia will have nofollows on their links, right? Many of the other sort of social networks that you see will have nofollows on links. So that's one thing sort of to note there. There are some other new types of nofollows that Google has sort of introduced, right? So I guess maybe the web has introduced, but the Google uses. One is UGC, which means user-generated content. And what Google has recommended is that, for things that you don't quite trust your users, especially if they aren't logged in, you don't really know, you haven't confirmed who they are, you add this sort of tag for things like blog comments, different items like that. So you tell Google, hey, we're not sure about this person, that whether, we feel you should trust this link that was put there, because we didn't do it, the user did it themselves. So take that into account. And the idea is it's treated as a nofollow, and Google won't pass any page rank. But again, it's a hint, right? And it's a little bit weaker hint even than nofollow, in my opinion. It's there, but it's not quite as strong. You can double that up. You can use UGC and nofollow. I think you can use all these together if you want. But this is probably a stronger way of saying, hey, really, Google, don't follow this link if you have a blog and you have comments or something like that on it. So this stuff, this is sort of needed, because if you ever seen some of the older blogs that were out there, people would go write comments in and go, the medieval art history blog, and they would say, this is great informational post. I really enjoyed it. San Antonio aluminum siding. right? And then someone else say, thank you for posting this great information. And the Atlanta personal injury lawyer, right? It'd be all this spam links and spam stuff in comments. So no files initially helped on that. UGC somewhat helps on it. UGC no files, even a stronger indicator of it. So those, again, all hints for all these though. And then there's rel sponsored. And this one is really indicating to Google, hey, I sold this link. This link, this is a purchase position. And so advertisements or people that are selling links should be using the rel sponsored on it. So that's really, this one, pretty clear to Google that you should be passing on page rank because it was a sold, it was purchased. So that's just something additional to note on that. So it's really been broken up. Most sites still just use no follow in general. No follow and sponsored are both fine. Sponsored is preferred, but not that many folks use it. Same thing with UGC. Most sites still just use no follow, but you can certainly add UGC. It's a little bit, I say it's a slightly weaker thing than no follow, but you could also stub it up with a no follow if you want to. So these are the four that we sort of see. If you're running a blog, your own blog, and you're having comments, you probably have it set up to have no follows at least, but you might want to change it to UGC or UGC no follow. All right. Getting back just to the link itself, going back to the core stuff, not set aside the no follows and the UGCs and sponsored. For the link text, the most important thing, right? That's the most valuable. Don't overly spam it. Don't use the same link text at different pages, but the most valuable part. Next part's the surrounding text. And then the URL, because it's not visible, so it's not quite as valuable. But remember that a lot of times the URL is also, especially if it's a domain name, is also used as the link text by different directories. So you have to take that into account a little bit when you're thinking about your URL or your domain name. And the final thing is the title attribute. I'd say only use it if you have some functionality reason for it, but I'd be hesitant to use it. So that's the base stuff. But the main thing here is think about your link text, think about where you're linking, especially within your own site. Ideally, if you have ability to control what other people do, same thing. Don't have them link the same link text to different pages if you can ask them not to. And then, surrounding text, very valuable. Easy way to keep you from overly spamming your link text, and then, the URL. So very, very straightforward.
Thanks for watching. We hope you now have a better understanding of how Google gives value to the links based on their attributes. In the next clip, we will talk about other link attributes. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more law practice and legal marketing videos. See you in our next video.